Tiana, come on!
Good morning, church. So we have the privilege, we have the time of the service where we get to actually reflect on the sacrifice of Jesus Christ. So Tiana is actually going to share what the cross means to her. And I've gotten to know her a little bit more in my Bible study group and found out she actually lives in my home country, in my home state, and actually within 50 miles, which is like probably from Schönefelde to Spandau, distance away. So yeah, we have a lot of similar cultural experiences growing up. But after some time, I also found out that she's a woman of perseverance, integrity, and compassion. So she asked me to read this scripture. In Genesis 16, verse 13, it says, "She gave this name to the Lord who spoke to her. You are the God who sees me. For she said, I have now seen the one who sees me." Here is Tiana.
Come on!
Hello, familia. Thank you, Reggie, for introducing me. I was actually really nervous, and I still am a little bit nervous, but after hearing the verse, it was just kind of a reminder of why I'm here, and it was a very good refresher. It hit me in the heart again every time I hear it. I am a very new Christian. I'm very new to the kingdom. I was baptized June 28th. That is my birthday.
Let's go, Tiana!
Yes, and I chose this verse because of the love that God shown Hagar in her lowest moment. God sees her when she is running into the wilderness because of the pain and the hurt that she had experienced from Sarah and from being in an impossible situation. She wasn't perfect, but I'm sure she was feeling lonely and like she couldn't handle any more of what she may have felt was being thrown at her. So when she called God the God who sees, that was the moment that I really fell in love with God. I no longer saw God and Jesus as two separate beings, but I saw them as one, where the love that Jesus shows, God is the source of that.
Come on.
Jesus couldn't love us deeply without that God. God met Hagar not when she was at her best or when she was blessed with a son. He met her in the wilderness. He tells her that he sees her pain. He tells her to go back to Sarah, but he does not send her back empty-handed. He gives her a promise. So not only did he promise Sarah something where they were having a conflict, when she's running away, he also chooses her and gives her a promise to go back to.
Come on, Tiana.
So he sees them both. And all he asks of her is her heart, is to trust that promise will be fulfilled, which is easier said than done. I have a problem doing that sometimes. I'm really working on it, but I think since being baptized and being shown the love of God and also just being surrounded by people who love God so deeply has really helped me have faith and have my path clear.
Come on, Tiana.
So this is what the cross means to me, to be loved by God who sees me and still chooses me, even through the pain, even though my heart is bruised, and even through my mistakes. For those of you that may not know, I was raised by two parents that had me at the age of 17 and 18. When I was born, we were living in a rough area in the United States in Massachusetts. My parents both grew up in a very rough circumstance on top of having me at a young age, and with that came a lot of wounds. They unfortunately did not have the tools to heal those wounds properly, which gave me wounds that matched theirs. My mom and I eventually moved away from Massachusetts to Florida, where I was about 2-3 years old, for a better life, and for that I'm grateful. I couldn't imagine how hard it was to leave her family and everyone behind. We also left my dad behind. He chose not to come. My mom and I moved around a lot, but stayed in Florida, and I would fly back and forth between both parents. And even though I was with my mom most of the time, a lot of my hurt came from the person that was supposed to love me from the beginning. So in those moments, instead of choosing me, she would choose men, partying, drugs, alcohol. So that was really difficult for me. And she would also make a lot of comments of just like, oh, your dad chose not to come and be with you, and he left you behind, and he loves his other family more than you. So I would just hear a lot of things.
Come on, Tiana.
And on top of that, my mom was also physically abusive. So my mom would put her hands on me. I remember a moment where I also have a younger brother, 7 years younger than me, who I was in charge of taking care of. So while my mom would work and go to her night classes, or if she was going out, I would be in charge of my brother. and since my mom didn't really show me a lot of respect, neither did he. So in order to get him to eat, I did not make him the meal that was prepared for him. I made him something else so that he would eat. And in response, my mom grabbed my hair and just smacked my face to where it would hit the wall. And then I had to go to school that morning. So it was just a lot of pushing through and just kind of not having enough time to process how I was feeling or to really accept myself, which led to a lot of self-esteem issues, a lot of insecurities, a lot of internal pain that I just kept pushing down, which made it really hard for me to have good relationships with other people. I was in a toxic relationship towards the end of my high school years for 3 years on and off with someone who would say really bad things about me, who would have a wandering eye or would make me feel bad about myself. And it just wasn't a great situation to be in. And I just kept feeling worse about myself, that there was something wrong with me, especially when it's with your parents and you think that they're supposed to have this sense of oh, when you're born, it's something that I heard all the time. It's oh, when you're holding your baby for the first time, and it's oh, you only want to protect them and you only want to love them, and it's an automatic feeling. And I used to wonder, what's wrong with me? Why didn't they have that feeling with me? So what could I have done better? Why am I not enough to just try? I didn't expect perfection from my parents, but just effort. At least the want to be better. And that was a thought that I struggled with a lot until I couldn't really take it anymore. I was very severely depressed. I moved out at a very early age from my mom's house. I lived with a friend on a mattress on the floor. I worked 3 jobs. I was trying to do it all on my own, and I couldn't do it anymore. I asked my friend for a Bible, and that's when I started. And then it wasn't until I met Bailey. She invited me to church, and we met on Bumble, and and I started to read the Bible a little bit and to have a Bible study group. I unfortunately had to leave for a year, and then she found me again. She never let me go, which is okay. I was very happy to receive every message that she sent me. And then I was able to fully give my heart. I think I needed a lot. I needed the time, and then when I came back, I was really ready to give all of my heart. To trust anyone is really difficult for me, just off of everything that you heard and more. So I used to be really angry as well because, oh, how could God love me and then give me this life? But then I really got to know God. And to know that he sees me and that he chooses me, and where I was not chosen,
Come on,
God
Tiana.
chose me. It took me longer than I would like to admit to fully trust him, and sometimes I still struggle because it's very scary for me to trust God when so many people have hurt me. But not only did he care for me, he sent me others that showed me what love is supposed to look like as well.
Come on.
My life looks very different from a year ago, where I was sitting in an apartment alone with no friends, no family, and no money. I am surrounded now by people who see me. I have an amazing disciple who grounds me, and my thoughts get they're out there. So she calms me very much. And everyone here just being in the kingdom have no idea how much it means to me to just have these small interactions. For the people who took the time to have the Bible study, and I feel like that was not an accident or a coincidence. It was just another testament to how God sees me, to give me family that also chose me.
Come on.
Souls out, disciple in the fight to this day. I know we don't want to be another movement of men, but we have got to be the movement of our God again.